The following is a presentation of Pittsburgh Central Catholic Football on the Champs Sports Network. Coming to you live from Fox Chapel Area High School in Fox Chapel, Pennsylvania. The Champs Sports Network welcomes you to our exclusive presentation of 2014 Pittsburgh Central Catholic Viking football. As tonight, the 3-0 Central Catholic Vikings take on the 1-2 Foxes from Fox Chapel. Hi again, everybody. I'm Matt Fargo, joined alongside the Central graduates, Mike Osti and Carlos Zafko. Welcome to our coverage. Welcome to Week 4, and this is where Mike and Carlo, gentlemen, this is going to be interesting as their first test, arguably, of the 2014 season out of the way in North Allegheny, a 28-7 victory. The shutout streak may be over, but the win streak continues for Pittsburgh Central Catholic in the side, the WPIAL, keeping in mind they haven't lost one since back in 2012 in the WPIAL.
Well, Central will tell you the win is all that matters. The defending WPIAL Quad A champions for a reason. They have a goal to do that again this year. Their defense has been stellar, if not above that, this entire season. They had the shutout streak for a while, did give up a touchdown in North Allegheny, but Central's been playing on all cylinders. Still some improvement they need from offense in order to win that championship. But another test this week against maybe a surprise Fox Chapel team that could make some noise throughout the season. They got through North Allegheny. What will they do here tonight is another question.
Fox Chapel, Carlo, is kind of the wild card. We really don't know what to expect from them. A 35-7 loss in the opener against North Hills, and then they trounce Seneca Valley 41-12 before turning around and blowing out a blowout loss to Pine Richland last week. We really don't know what you're going to get out of them.
Yeah, Fox Chapel is a big question mark. Fox Chapel is a big question mark, and with that, Central coaches really don't know what to expect, but they are expecting them to bring their A game.
And we're underway from Fox Chapel. A low-high kick fielded at the 25-yard line and across the 30, 35, and across the 35-yard line, busting it to the outside, across midfield. A big return for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. That was Gardner on the return. Or I beg your pardon, that was DeMar Hamlin on the return for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And they will, after the 30-yard return by Hamlin, be set up in great field position on the Fox's side of the midfield stripe. First down at 10 for the 45.
A big thing there, Matt, was number 5, John Patrician, was on the field. He had a hamstring issue last night. They weren't sure if he was going to play today. It looks like he will be playing.
Saw him warming up, looks ready to go. Here we go. First and 10 from the 45-yard line. This Central offense ran 23 running plays compared to the 3 passing plays they ran in the first half last week against NA. They will pass on first down, completing the swing pass out to Graham Adamitis is Michael Navarro. Adamitis has a gain of 12, a Central Catholic first down as they take it inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line.
And Michael Navarro putting that right where only Adamitis could catch it, right in the breadbasket in front of 3 defenders. A little bit of speed from Adamitis to get in front of that reception, able to bring it in for a first down for Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
First and 10 from the 33-yard line, 11:30, 30 seconds into Week 4 across the WPIAL. Man in motion right to left. Navarro will turn around and hand it off left side, and that is Foster off the left side, picking up the 25-yard line. He will gain 8 on the first down carry, and really you see 2 plays from Pittsburgh Central Catholic, and it's really almost the most explosive they looked all season long after 2 plays.
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement there, and Grant Foster's back this week. He broke his knuckles and was out last week, so that's why he didn't play last week. I know we had some questions there.
Yeah, we weren't sure. He's been a big weapon for Central. We saw 2 weeks ago he was huge, him and Jones, for Central's offense.
And off left side, they go between the guard and try to pull to the left way. And again, Foster will be able to pick up manageable yards there on second down. He'll pick up 4 and move the sticks once again. So Central Catholic, their second first down of the drive, and they are moving now to the 22-yard line.
And they got to be thrilled to see this. The opening drive of the game, Michael Navarro, who wasn't supposed to be the starter, takes the helm, now the leader of this team, and getting this offense down the entire field, moving the chains, a slow, methodical offensive drive. The offense is really the only thing that's going to hold this team back with how strong they are defensively. If this offense uses their weapons and can get points on the board, probably scores 20 points a game, they should win every single night.
Defensively, a substitution for Fox Chapel. Gary Davis into the game for the Foxes as they set up a 1st and 10 from the 22. They give it off the left side. It's Foster. Has blockers. Down the far sideline. He's in for 6. Untouched. Grant Foster from 22 for the Viking touchdown.
And that is not good for Fox Chapel there. They had 9 guys in the box defending the run. And Grant Foster just went untouched right into the end zone for 20-some yards.
It looked like he walked in. It looks like you and I could have almost scored that touchdown. He went right to the left, walked in, didn't even need to turn on the Jets, and Central on the scoreboard.
Yep.
Extra point, Mitch Maxura with 10:19 to play here in the opening quarter, and the extra point is blocked, and getting his paws in on that football was 34. That's Carrington Vaughn.
And here's something interesting. John Patrician, as I said, his hamstring has been hurting him. He's the usual holder there. They said he would not be holding tonight because when he was in that position, his hamstring was nagging him. So that could be a reason why that was blocked there.
Well, 10:19 to play here in the opening quarter. A 5-play, 45-yard drive ends in Pittsburgh Central Catholic getting out to an early 6-0 lead. And that's something, guys, that they weren't able to do last week against North Allegheny. The offense just really stalled. Great field position has been this offense's best friend.
What tells you if a team's going to win? Usually the stats are field position, and Central's dominated that most of the season. And then, of course, turnovers. Central started turning it over against North Allegheny. It led to the NA touchdown. The first half of that game, we weren't sure what the score was going to be. Central needed a Hail Mary pass to John Patrician in order to tie that thing at halftime. NA was right in that game, kind of scared Central Catholic a little bit. And we even saw against Shaler, Matt, Central goes down the field, a field goal instead of a touchdown. This offense has moved the football when they've had it for long drives, but it's not exactly been as successful as they've imagined.
Rocky to boot it away and send it back the way of the Foxes. Their first time touching the football from the 1-yard line. A return across the 15 and knocked down at the 19-yard line for the Foxes on the return. Thomas Smith, the 5'10 junior, on the return. And here come this offense of Fox Chapel, which has been kind of hot and cold too. You're talking about Billy Ursho, the quarterback for the Foxes, 132 yards in the loss to Pine Richland last week.
Billy Urso is an interesting quarterback. He, like you said, he's either hot or he's either cold. He smoked Seneca Valley up and down the field. Against North Hills, it was a whole different story. He had a little trouble against North Hills.
Well, part of being a quarterback is being able to be mature, brush your shoulders off, live to fight the next play, and not be intimidated by your surroundings and move on. Not every play is going to be for a touchdown.
And a short memory as well.
Exactly.
Long snap count gets Central to draw off sides, and this is not something new that we've seen from the Viking defense.
You want to know what their defensive coordinator told me?
I would like to know, but we can't say it on the air. I would like to know, though. I'm very interested.
I said, Coach, your team is jumping off sides. I've never seen a Central team jump off sides so much. He said, I love it. I'm not slowing down my defensive line for nothing. I'll take the 5-yard penalties as long as they're going fast to the ball.
Wow.
When you have this defense, though, with those linebackers and that secondary, they know nobody can throw against this Central defense. They have that much confidence in them. Maybe you will take the penalties. So far, it's been working.
Yep.
Hasn't hurt them that much.
Trips tight to the far side of the field. Ursho gets the snap, turns around, and gives it off to Sean Chitambo. Chitambo takes it off, and he is bottled up for no loss or no gain on the play. And Central Catholic just came crashing in defensively. I saw Glover over there. Also on the stop for Pittsburgh Central Catholic, I'll give credit to Joe Tyndall.
And they got him good. I don't know which player hit him first, but he hit him hard.
Well, bottled up by a few Central defenders kind of reading that play to perfection, right on the sweep to the right side, and Central was right there providing a brick wall of sorts. There's just no weaknesses in this Central defense. The brick wall defensive line, the secondary, the linebackers, everybody is an athlete.
2nd and 3 from the 27. Urso from the gun. They bring the trips to the near side. The swing pass out to the far side. It's intercepted, and that's going to be a steal and score for 52 in blue and gold for the Central Catholic touchdown. How about Romello Broughton for the Viking touchdown as he picks Urso's pocket, and it takes him the distance all of 18 yards.
And you do not see that every day.
You don't see the big man get into the end zone every day, but he's able to just kind of gently pickpocket, get a little basketball steal, and then waltz right into the end zone, an easy Central score, and another defensive touchdown. I don't know, have you been keeping track of those for Central this year? At least 5 or 6, 4 in 1 week against Shaler.
Extra point from Maxura. This time, hold is good. And going back off of Carlos' point for Central Catholic, Eddie Feidehurt is the holder for Central Catholic this evening. 9:14 to play, and they put up 14, and I'm going to have to say that is not correct. That is 13.
No two-point conversion. We weren't math majors, but we can do the simple one-on-one addition, I think.
So 9:14 to play here, the first, and this is, I think, guys, you will agree, the game last week, you let North Allegheny hang around there. You have a huge play. If you don't get that huge play at the end of the first half, you're going into the locker room down.
That's a game changer,
emotionally. They were able
emotionally.
to tie that and go into the locker room with the 7-7 tie, but kind of putting the pedal to the metal here early against a Fox Chapel team that really doesn't know what to expect, removing all doubt that they are Central Catholic is a more superior team here tonight.
Yes, Fox Chapel better get it rolling quickly, or else this might be a mercy roll within the first half here.
Well, it's all about sending a message. Central's kind of felt disrespected even going into this year. People had doubts about them. They said, it's going to be an easy schedule for Central. There's no tests on the schedule. You're the defending champion, but winning this schedule doesn't mean anything. They want to win this schedule and do it convincingly. They want to mercy roll teams. They got over the test of North Allegheny. Fox Chapel's kind of a team on many people's radar for an upset, but they don't want it to be against them this week.
Rocky to boot it away again. And this one fielded from the 8-yard line, 15-20, and upended at the 27-yard line for Fox Chapel. That's Smith again on the return, and this offense, it's something to be said that when North Allegheny had success, they had it in the air. And that's where it seems like you're going to have your chances, but if Central knows the pass is coming, it's going to make it all that much tougher.
Yeah, North Allegheny, their completion percentage was very poor last week, but that was the only way they moved the ball was through the air. So expect Central to maybe get tested later in the year when a quarterback comes who can air it out all game long.
Maybe by the name of Ben DiNucci on the right side.
Very, very good point.
Handoff, it is Sean Chitambo, the ball carrier for Fox Chapel. And he's going to be able to pick up a good 7 yards on the first down carry before being chased out the far side boundary by a host of white jerseys. Central on the radio side, sorry to be painfully obvious on the video side, but Central and they're all whites, blue numerals and gold trim. Fox Chapel sporting the flat black helmets and all black jerseys.
Yeah, Carlo, what are your thoughts on Central's new uniforms this year? Both home and away, a new fresh look. All the tradition, they changed it up this season.
I love it. I really
As an
do.
alum.
Urso throwing an incomplete pass to the far sideline. Nearly got intercepted. Tyndall was over there in coverage, along with Bryson Gardner.
It's kind of weird to say, though, that the only recipe to beat Central's defense is through the air. We saw last week against North Allegheny, even while having success, man-to-man, Central was still rocking the receiver. They were still getting the tackle. They were playing right with the wide receiver. And then double team, there was just no chance. Central's secondary is just a notch below the run defense, but still one of the best in all of Quad A and WPIAL.
Oh, yeah, it is by far not a weakness at all.
Urso back to pass on third down, throwing too tall for his intended receiver, trying to find Thomas Smith on the near side boundary. Pass goes incomplete, and it will be fourth down. Special teams unit for Fox Chapel out for the Foxes.
And you got to wonder if Coach Eric Avati is going to run a fake here, just to get Fox Chapel back into this game a little bit, get some momentum going.
This is one of those games where you throw the trick bag out there, you kind of take a risk, throw the dice.
I'll tell you what, this student section is a little bit rowdy for Fox Chapel here.
Right.
It's an earthquake in this press box. I thought you were telling us to simmer down, Matt, but it's more the students you were trying to hope we didn't collapse in the press box.
Wow, that one, a weird bounce off of DeMar Hamlin's back. And was alert to the Chapel special teams player was coming down onto it. So Central will have the football, and they're just going to be content with having it. First down at 10, and it looks like they're going to mark it at the 33-yard line.
And Central Catholic's return ace, John Patrician, not back there. They told me not risking it. You know, he'll play defense.
Well, up
sparingly, I guess.
13-0. I guess they're not going to need him now. They're not going to risk an injury in a game they might mercy rule. And that had Kevin Ware injury written all over it, though, the way that ankle turned and having the ball bounce off of it. That's a lucky break not to have any serious of an injury on that last play on the return.
Throwing here to the near side, sliding back to the football. Hunter Petrasky making the catch at the 49-yard line. And Michael Navarro, two great passes, sitting in the pocket looking comfortable, throwing the football here tonight.
You know what? You talk about the fake or the great passes there. How about that play action? He faked me out. I thought Foster had the ball there.
Yeah, he's become the leader of this team. He's become the starting quarterback. These weapons now trust him. Jones, Foster, and company, Adamitis, they now trust him. There's a chemistry we're seeing every week he's built up with them from when he had to take the starting job over Gunnar Farad on his injury.
15-yard pass and catch for Navarro, and now they give it off to Foster on the first down carry, and he will get one from the 48-yard line is where they initially marked it, and now they move him up to the 49. With 8 minutes to play here in the first quarter, it's 13-0. If you're just getting on your computer, on your smartphone or tablet, wherever you're listening to us across the World Wide Web.
Yeah, Central coaches are telling me Gunnar Farad, this is probably his last week he'll be out, but you got to wonder if he's going to come right back in and take the job right back.
You hate to see someone lose their job due to an injury, but I don't know how you change. I don't know how you take this job away from Michael Navarro, the way he's played and the way this team's responding to him.
This is Brian Totten scrapping his way for 3 yards to the 46-yard line before being brought down by the shoelaces by Michael Ottaviano.
And, you know, it's not also that we have much of a resume for Gunnar Farad as a starter. Week 1, he had the job. He was a starter, but through 4 passes, 0 for 4, has yet to have a completion. Michael Navarro's winning games, throwing touchdown passes, leading a drive all the way up and down the field. It's unfortunate, but when you're the defending champion and there's nothing to show for it from the other guy, I don't know how you would switch quarterbacks.
Swing out to the far side. It's Foster trying to get to the sticks. He's not going to be able to. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Gitano on the stop for the Foxes, but it's going to be about 4 yards shy of the first down. So 4th down and 4 for Central, and they bring out the punt unit. And that was a huge stop for Fox Chapel. They could not afford Central to go in and have another score and a 3-touchdown advantage.
And Coach Eric Avati went on record and said he has the best linebackers in the state. I will say his linebackers are very good. Carrington Vaughn, David Brown, both probably FCS-type talents.
He's slurping his Kool-Aid, though. Best in the state. You're going to hype him up that much?
I'm not going to hype him up that much. I'll say top 10.
The coach is trying to excite his team, though overestimated. It's a coach speak.
Little bit of ping-ponging of a ball down there. Central says they have the football, and the officials do agree. They do agree. Central Catholic football, that ball ping-ponged off about 4 different defenders in both black and white before someone in white was finally able to scoop up the football. I thought maybe Hamlin was the last person to get to it.
I think number 12, Graham Adamitis, came up with the ball.
Who's been Mr. Clutch on special teams this year.
Going back to even the WPIAL title game last year
Yes.
with that punt return he had.
Don't ever discount a special teams and what they could do for a championship team. Central last year, Central this year. Special teams has almost been the MVP of this team through 4 weeks this season. Field position-wise, what they've done with turnovers, what they've done to score. And now here, another turnover they're able to convert on in Central's offense, setting up shop again with amazing field position.
Yeah, inside the 20 in the red zone from the 12-yard line of Fox Chapel with 6:30 to play in the opening quarter. Here is a handoff right up the middle. It's Foster trying to fight his way and being very scrappy down there for Fox Chapel was Murphy on the stop. And that's going to lose one, so second down and 11.
And next to that Grant Foster touchdown, this Fox Chapel D hasn't been doing too bad.
No, they've been kind of hanging in there. They've been able to get to the ball carrier. There hasn't been too many missed tackles that I've noticed. But Carlo, you have so much pull with the coaches. You might have to do something there to the student section. They've got to hang a banner.
You know what?
Midway through.
I'm done with Central student section.
Okay, you're tired of them? They haven't been rowdy enough this year. Nope. We kind of called them out last week.
Fade right into the end zone to Patrician, and too much on it. He had him open. Patrician had great separation from his defender, and he was in the end zone open here on the near side. Navarro not just putting a little bit too much juice on that one. It will be 3rd and 11 from the 13.
And if I'm Navarro, I'm just putting that up nice and easy. If Patrician has to turn around, he has to turn around. He had enough separation to do so. But Fox Chapel is very susceptible. Susceptible.
You just sound it out. See, this is what happens.
Very
because Matt knows
susceptible to that.
I like to bring in the vocab words to broadcast. We have the rookie trying to steal my thunder, and it's not as easy as you think.
You know, this Central Catholic education.
Education, yeah. I can't even joke about that, though, because it's insulting myself. I'm also a Central alum.
I'll be the black sheep of the broadcast. Back to pass, Navarro setting up the screen pad, way too tall for Grant Foster, and came out of the backfield and trying to set up something to Foster, and it was well too tall for number 29 of blue and gold, so it will be 4th down, and I believe this will be a Mitch Maxura field goal attempt, you would have to assume.
Going back to the last play, though, that Carlo brought up, in the corner of the end zone, when you have tall wide receivers, you have weapons like that, that pass is on the wide receiver. You don't need to throw it as far over. The quarterback overthrowing that ball was incomplete because of Navarro, but he needs to be more comfortable that, hey, I'm going to just needle this in there, and my wide receiver got to jump up and catch it. It's on him.
Mitch Maxura's 31-yard field goal is good. And with 5:28 to play here in the first quarter, it's Pittsburgh Central Catholic 16, Fox Chapel nothing. But if you're Fox Chapel, what a win. You give the ball to a Central Catholic offense at the 12-yard line, and they're only able to come up with 3 points. Huge stop, and you said it earlier, Carlo, this Fox Chapel defense isn't playing all that bad.
Oh, no, this Fox Chapel defense is their bright spot. The offense, I was told, was going to be their bright spot with Billy Urso. He's been hot and cold. We'll see how he does today, but so far he's been very questionable.
We were talking about student sections earlier. Really nice showing from both. Fox Chapel going camo, and I like Central going the neon theme over there.
Not really.
You
like that? They had the American flag last week. I think
it's
played out.
Yeah,
it might be. But you're going to compliment both. I'm going to criticize both.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be an equal opportunity criticizer.
That was a 60-yard drive, including the punt. That drive punt aided, if you will. And here's Jacob Rocky. Spiraling kick that will be fielded from the far side at the 3. Across the 10, cutting near side, 15 and 20, and then got blitzed real quick by Chase Hawthorne, the 6-foot, 215-pound junior, introduced himself.
Hawthorne's another one. He's a very good hard hitter. Not starting on the defense, had a starting spot during the beginning of camp. Lost it a little bit. He's a great player. Central coaches love him. He's the next guy in for this linebacking core. Expect him to make a huge impact next year.
You were mentioning the newspaper clippings or bulletin board material that Central Catholic had. There was a holding call on this, so this is going to back up Fox Chapel inside the 10 to the 9. But there's newspaper clippings and the bulletin board material that Central had because of the linebacking mentioned by the coach. That was being said during warm-ups when I was down on the field. They were talking about to the linebackers.
I believe it.
About that. So,
players remember.
So they're going to swing it around on the end around to Darius Booker. Booker, a 5'9 junior, is going to be thrown back at the 4-yard line, losing 6 more.
Now, I know I'm a
Watch it
Central
on the
alum.
stop.
I'm not trying to say this to toot their own horn, but you're not going to beat Terry Todd doing all this gimmick, give here, keep here from the shotgun. He loves offenses that do that because his defense eats it up, and he showed it there.
You're also not going to beat a team like Central Catholic when you give them bulletin board material. He fell right into their lap because when you have a team that's off a championship, they're a veteran team, they're undefeated, playing as well as they are, you can't just give them more motivation.
Urso from the gun, trips to the near side left. They move a sidecar to the right and a timeout taken by the Foxes. That will be their first of the half. And something we were alluding to off the air coming into the broadcast is, you look at Fox Chapel's numbers as a Quad A team, they are down in numbers for certain. I mean, South Fayette, a Double A team, has well over.
Oh, easily.
I think they're like in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Does Fox Chapel have a freshman team?
I don't know. I don't know if they do.
I know a few Quad A schools cut their freshman team
because
this year.
of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we ask Jeff? Do we have the producer with the information? Usually Jeff's right there for us. As he walks out of the press box. I go to ask him and he's not sitting there. Come on, Jeff.
So during this timeout, 4:30 to play, 16-0. Pittsburgh Central Catholic leads Fox Chapel. Welcome all of you tuning in from the World Wide Web. If you're listening to this, of course, on the Champ Sports Network, or if you're listening on CentralCatholicFootball.com, you can access our broadcasts.
Got a little bit of information for you guys. I'm told Coach Urban Meyer, Ohio State Buckeyes head coach, will be here
before the game
in the second half. Telling the viewers now.
Okay. Well, Carlo's so close personal friends with Coach Urban Meyer. I remember.
He called me up
from the
said,
picture.
Carlo, you're
they
awesome.
Met each other when Duquesne Youngstown State played.
That was Coach Tressel.
Okay, you didn't. Okay.
Dump off pass, and that's going to be a first down for Fox Chapel as Urso dropping back and finding his man, 44, David Brown, the 6'2 senior tight end, hauls in a 13-yard pass and catch. And that is going to be good enough for a Fox Chapel first down as they move it out all the way to the 23-yard line.
But Ohio State offers, though, so maybe
do you call Urban you? What's up, you?
You got his cell phone number with Ohio State, going to go down to Columbus with him and analyze the tape.
If only.
You did some predictions, though, on Division I players last week. You didn't mention Ohio State for any of them.
You know what? Ohio State's a new offer for DeMar Hamlin, the 2016 cornerback. I'm told Urban's pretty much only coming for him, not recruiting anybody else here. But he's also stopping in Central Valley to see the stud Jordan Whitehead.
All right.
His decision's coming up October 3rd.
Well, really, yes, it is.
And Carlo will tell you the answer on October 3rd.
We were doing our best of the batch. Carlo and I were down there at Hines, and I believe we started the interview with Whitehead as he's going to select, and he's like, I'm not telling you. Urso is sacked to the backfield, back at the 15-yard line. And guess who it is again? Chase Hawthorne coming from the blind side and delivering a blow at the 15. That will make it a third down and long. They'll need to get it to the 33-yard line and move the sticks.
An even more powerful impression from that defense. And with 3 minutes left here in this first half, even though you're down 16-0, Fox Chapel has to be a little bit pleased. They have moved the football a little bit. Their defense has played decent. There's been teams that have been better record-wise going against Central Catholic that have done worse than this in a half.
Oh, yeah.
So throwing and skipping that pass behind and in front of behind one receiver and in front of another. I'm going to go and split the difference and say that it was intended for Chitambo, and it will be fourth down. Special teams unit will be back out onto the field for Fox Chapel, and it's the same story that has been really dominating the headlines if you're a Central Catholic fan, and it's the defense of Pittsburgh Central Catholic. But, hey, look who's out there. Johnny Football out to return this punt, John Patrician.
And I guess they're a little bit upset at Hamlin for fumbling that last one.
And And here is Patrician spinning around off of one. Gets a block. Got the 50. Stutter step at the 45-yard line. Cuts back, steps out of bounds at the 40-yard line for Patrician.
Some off-field.
Yeah,
Little
some
extracurricular activity on the field here.
Some pushing and shoving there. The referee's very lackadaisical in getting in the middle. You don't walk in over there saying, hey, guys, break it up subtly. I don't want to have a punch taken, though. Not much of an aggressiveness from the referee.
11-yard return, 35-yard punt. And the Vikings, another drive that will start on the Fox Chapel side of the 50-yard line. They've had this is their fourth Central Catholic drive?
Third. They had the defensive touchdown.
Third Central Catholic drive, and all of them have started. Well, all but one has started on the opponent's side of the 50-yard line. And we hand it off on the first carry, and that's Emmanuel getting his first carry of the evening. No gain on the play. Vinny Emmanuel, this backfield is just stacked. And we haven't talked often about Riley Redmond since the beginning part of the year, but he's still out there and helping the team and giving handoffs, and he's still a part of this team, even though he's not eligible to play.
And they would not have won a championship last year without him. With Listabrins' injury and what he did when he came into that lineup, it's too bad he couldn't be a part of this team on the field, but still helping out off.
Again, Vinny Emmanuel off left tackle, busting it to the outside, 30, 25, 20. Emmanuel down the far sideline inside the 10, and finally knocked out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Vinny Emmanuel showing a second and third gear before finally getting knocked down. And this sets up the Vikings with the first and goal from the 5.
And this backfield will be getting better. Ron George gets his cast off. He told me the 29th of September. Then he has a few more weeks of physical therapy, and then he'll be back.
You're all about dates. You got exact dates for the people.
I got to remember them.
Yeah, they're going to call you out on this, though, that if you don't tweet on the 29th, on the 4th, they're
I'll hear
people.
it.
Yeah, you're going to hear it.
After the 36-yard run by Emmanuel, first and goal from the 5, they give it off to Emmanuel. He'll stutter step into the hole and get down to the 2-yard line before he's met by a host of black jerseys, among them part of that self-named best linebacking core in the state was 44, David Brown, the 6'2", 230-pound senior.
And Central hasn't opened up their offense too much this week.
We've been waiting for it last week. You told me they weren't going to, though. You depressed me. I asked you a couple times, and you said they're just not going to open up the playbook.
I'm looking for some shotgun here. I'm not seeing it.
Second and goal from the 2, a minute to play, first quarter. Play action, bootleg. Navarro's going to keep it himself. He's into the end zone from 2 yards away. Touchdown, Central Catholic. Michael Navarro from 2 away.
Just rolling right out as the quarterback, taking it with his own 2 legs. Another touchdown, another one with ease. Central's offense kind of rolling on all cylinders, and 22-0 here, less than a minute in this first half. This might be the most impressive offensive performance we've seen from Central in a half this season. They didn't get the football really in game 1 against Bethel Park. Gunnar Fraud with the injury. Same thing from then on, and now they're doing it.
Extra point by Magsura is through those pipes. It is good. 53 seconds remain. 20. Man, Fox Chapel's having trouble at it.
Yeah, they just added 11 points.
33. I don't know what's going on here, but 41-yard drive, 4 plays, sets up
41 now.
Now it's 47-0.
It is. Now they've added points. Central's not even – they're on the sidelines. They scored a touchdown.
Central is really moving the ball.
How about that offense, man?
Wow. You know what? I've heard the saying on offense where you blink, you miss something, but this is becoming literal now.
Well, we've missed 3 touchdowns, and we didn't even blink. Oh, there you go.
23-0.
There you go. There you go.
Honestly, after so many score changes, I was like, is it 22, 23,
Yeah.
25?
They were impressed, too, with this offense. And in all seriousness, this offense, moving the chains, short passes, you're seeing the running game even from Navarro with his own legs. This offense is moving, and there's no longer a question mark if they play like this, if they can win with this offense and the defense together. And, again, how do you change quarterbacks even if Gunnar Fraud's healthy? with how this offense is playing and how Michael Navarro playing so smart with the football and scoring points.
I will also mention, though, Central has had not even close to bad field position.
Oh, yeah.
No, and they
haven't
haven't all
started back in
season.
the 20-yard
Well, they haven't all season, though. They maybe one quarter against North Allegheny.
Return from the 3, across the 15, here to the near side, and across the 20 to the 25-yard line for Fox Chapel. Once again on the return, he's seen them all. Thomas Smith, junior, on the return, and Fox Chapel trying to find something offensively.
And if you're this Fox Chapel offense, you have to give your defense a shot. You have to at least move the ball 20, 30 yards, punt, get Central back behind their own 20. Seriously.
You can't have the defense coughing up a lung there, no.
You really can. I mean, if this Fox Chapel defense hasn't played that bad, and they're in the whole 23-0 already.
Oh, spread them out wide, 5 wide. Urso throwing, and comeback route blocked up, went off the fingertips of his intended receiver on the far side. That was intended for Mitchell Donick, the 5'11 junior, was not prepared to take the hit that he would have received had he caught that football.
That's what it kind of felt like to me, though. Heard the footsteps, didn't want to take the hit. It was put right to him. You got to hurl that pass in, especially when your offense is struggling like this.
5 wide again for Urso on a second down at 10 for the 25-yard line, 41 seconds first quarter. Urso sets up a screen play. It's intercepted. Tip drill. It is streaking down the far sideline. DeMar Hamlin, he's taking it to the barn. Touchdown, Central Catholic. Hamlin, the second defensive touchdown of the night for the Vikings. And they are rolling here tonight on a classic tip drill. Hamlin going the distance as he goes 30 yards.
And right before that play, I was going to say, you know what? I have yet to see them test DeMar Hamlin. They shouldn't have, I'll tell you that.
You didn't, though. You made all the predictions last week.
I should have said something.
You can't be quiet. Yeah, Hamlin put it down, another interception for the Central Catholic defense, open space in front of him, and really walks into the end zone, able to kind of do a little dance there, Deion Sanders-like.
Max Serra's kick is good. Fox Chapel scoreboard operators able to add this time, 30-0 our score, as Fox Chapel right now just continues to hand Central an opportunity, and they have not only taken advantage of them, they've put them on the scoreboard. And really, I mean, this isn't touchdowns that Central's putting up on the board. It's opportunity points that they're putting up on the board.
It's defensive touchdowns, and we even said when we were concerned about the offense, when this defense is playing like this and you have defensive touchdowns and then you're giving your team the field position already in the opponent territory, it almost doesn't matter. But do we even see the starters in the second half? How quickly does Central start resting players? 30-0. They already realistically got to feel like they won this game, but you never know.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you see them take anything before the first half off, because you have Connellsville next week.
No.
And I think you're going to be faster to pull them next week than you will this week, because you can't let your starters. They're not going to get their reps if they're on the sideline.
That is very true, but
you got to play that gray area.
You don't want to injure somebody in a blowout, but this game doesn't feel like a blowout.
No,
it really doesn't.
No, it does not.
Another return here. Once again, it's Smith for Fox Chapel. And Smith is across the 20-yard line to the 23, and that's where Fox Chapel will get set first down and 10.
And you want to keep seeing what Michael Navarro has. You want to maybe give him another quarter and see what he got in him. Maybe you could now finally open up the playbook with him under the helm.
Maybe.
First down at 10, Urso. Full wide. Back to pass. Rolling left. Pressure. Pocket collapses. Urso's going to take off and run with it and slide down. He has been to the Cordell Stewart sliding school of quarterbacks.
It was a nice slide there. It really was.
Not the Robert Griffin III school, though. He didn't go to that.
No.
That's an academy that maybe needs some summer schooling.
Yeah. No kidding.
And that was about the 10th time I've seen Fox Chapel run that exact same play, just 5 wide, all on the little 7-yard hitches. And I don't think it's worked once.
No. And now there's an injured player down for Fox Chapel. It's the official. The official is down.
And it's not too warm out there. This is kind of a perfect climate for high school football. A little bit of wind, but not many clouds. Still got the lights beaming down here, the Friday night lights, and that has been your meteorology report for the Champ Sports Network from Mike Oste.
Count on Mike. Normally he talks about the clouds, which look great tonight.
I said there's not as many clouds, but they do look great.
Yeah.
They have, this is Instagram picture worthy of the clouds in the sky with the lights.
I don't know about
shining.
all that.
Our officials tonight, the official is Bob Boyd, Bob Cornell, Ed Gaminsky, Matt Stevenson, Tom Hackey is the official that is
I graduated Central with an Ed Gaminsky.
Matt.
Oh, you did?
Ed Gaminsky.
Yeah, I graduated Central Catholic in my graduating year with an Ed Gaminsky. I wonder if it is the same. I have not seen him since high school, so it might be him.
And Pete Barnes rounding out the officials. As this is going to take us to the end of quarter number one, and what a dominating quarter it has been for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. They rolling after one frame. We'll play another when we come back. Here on the Champ Sports Network, exclusive broadcast coverage of Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings, 30-0. After 12, we'll play 12 more. That's usually how it works right here on Champs.
Yeah. Championship fever. With the flows I kick, I'm eligible for my own sneak.
For all things Central Catholic football during the 2014 campaign, log on to centralcatholicfootball.com. Your one-stop shop for scores, standings, stats, pictures, and even these broadcasts from the Champ Sports Network, all located at centralcatholicfootball.com, your home for Viking football 24/7. The following is a presentation of Pittsburgh Central Catholic football on the Champs Sports Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Fox Chapel alongside Mike Oste, Carlo Zofko, Matt Fargo. Welcome back. Second quarter action, 30-0. Central Catholic rolling here so far, and we'll start with Fox Chapel switching the sides as Urso will go back to pass and complete it. Then it popped up into the air, and Ed falls harmlessly to the phony grass here at Fox Chapel. As that one almost got another interception. Joe Tyndall was the closest to that football, but it does fall incomplete. Initially intended for Mel Dimitri, and it will be 3rd down and 10 from the 23-yard line.
We got a little bit of Twitter trash talk going on here. Fox Chapel student section calling out Central, saying you're not rowdy. Central responds back.
With some music.
Central responds back, we're bored. We're up 30-0.
with rowdy music, cue the rowdy music. Central student section has not been as rowdy as I was used to, though, this season.
Agreed.
Pass across the middle of the field is completed to 44, making the catch. That's a great one. David Brown. Brown's made that's a second one across the middle he's been able to move and move the sticks for Fox Chapel. Give him 11 on that pass and catch, moving the sticks out to the 36-yard line.
Incredible Billy Urso on that throw. That was a great throw, and he got licked at the end of it. He took a hit there.
Carlo keeping us updated on the Twitter universe.
As always.
Got to have somebody on Twitter. It's a social media revolution, man.
Yeah. WPIAL Insider owns it. 5 wide.
He does. Doesn't even need the promoting.
Urso throwing that one short and complete. A little bit underneath, trying to get something going on a slant route. Wasn't able to pull that one out. Intended for Stepina, Demetrius Stepina, the intended receiver, 2nd down at 10. And you can take this audio and use that as a promotional WPIAL Insider.
I tweeted a nice thing. I said, "Hey, get on Champ Sportsnet."
Yeah,
we're out here broadcasting.
A self-serving tweet. Go listen to me, but it's a the Twitter world and the WPIAL Insider world, and we're just living in it.
Urso back to pass, throwing across the middle, and again trying to go out for David Brown. Not able to do it though. Brown not able to haul that one in. He complete 3rd and 10 now. But I think Fox Chapel's had the realization that if they want to move the football, they're going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, yeah.
And really don't have much of a choice down 30-0.
No, and it's what North Allegheny did last week, but as I said, it's still a gamble. You still have Central's man-to-man has played right with all these receivers they've faced every week this season. They've been bumping running on the man-to-man. Double team, you can't get a completion. Triple team, you're not going to have a completion. This secondary for Central Catholic is nothing to be fooled with.
Urso took a hit, delivering a pass across the middle of the field that got tipped. And I want to say I'm going to give credit on the tip to Chase Hawthorne. Got his paw on that one. And then another big hit. But Urso able to stand in there and even deliver the football.
Impressive.
But, it's going to end up incomplete fourth down. Special teams to punt the ball with.
And if I'm Urso, I'm taking my lineman out to dinner saying, listen, guys.
You can't get hit. Can't get hit like this.
Stop letting me get hit, and I'll take you out to dinner or something.
Or his parents will. He is in high
either
school.
or.
Punt will roll and then be fielded by Hamlin on the roll. And Hamlin down the far sideline has a convoy. Hamlin still going, and he was a shoelace tackle away from busting it out. But there was a flag way back
Oh, he
at the
got him.
42-yard line.
Clip for sure.
And this one's going to be coming back, so might as well have saved Hamlin the rest of that return anyway because it's coming back.
He woke up the Central student section.
Yeah. It was a pretty return.
And you look here, Central Catholic trying to get almost a huddle in here to reconvene. I still wonder if we're going to see maybe a deep pass. We're going to see anything spread out on the sidelines from Central's offense. Maybe we'll see that in the second half. This is still kind of a close to the vest offense through most of the season.
Now, I don't know what Terry Totten and company are thinking, but I do know Fox Chapel head coach Eric Vadi. He's a great guy. Him and Totten are friends. Do you try and
run it up?
Yeah.
They're friends. Maybe they're going out to dinner after the game.
Right.
Loser buys.
But yeah,
I don't know how we could do that up here.
We have a vote for on Twitter from WPIAL Insider. Can give a vote for MVP of the broadcast.
I would be more.
I vote credit card roulette.
Yeah. That's,
Credit card roulette. Okay.
Central
You vote that
Catholic.
until you lose several weeks in a row.
Yeah, that's or your bank starts getting no longer. Central called a timeout, and coming up, this is going to be interesting next week. Central will have the broadcast for you between Central Catholic and Connellsville, but we'll also reincarnate, if you will, the high school football game of the week. But we're going to have you vote. We're going to give you 4 games, and they're not probably there's some games out there that maybe you weren't expecting.
Not cliche.
Yeah.
You want to have the monkey wrench game.
We said the rule is also going to be that it can't be a quad A game because we're going to spend most of our time here in quad A.
Mm-hmm.
So your options are Knock and Hampton, Apollo Ridge and Highlands, Steel Valley and Quaker Valley, and then there's going to be a possible write-in game.
And what was that second one? Apollo Ridge and who? Highlands.
Steel Valley game might be intriguing.
Back after the timeout, a run up the middle for Foster gets one. Second down coming up as the clock winds to 10:40 here in the second quarter. 30-0 Central Catholic on top of this one. 2 defensive touchdowns. Both interceptions returned for touchdowns has really blown this one open. But yeah, so there's voting will start tomorrow night and go until Tuesday at midnight. And we'll have a decision to be made. So.
And not going to vote, obviously, but I would like to go to the Highlands Apollo Ridge game. Highlands got some players. Right. Apollo Ridge finally getting something going here.
Maybe leaning the voters. Hey, if you're listening, we're already trying to start the rivalry on Twitter.
A great play action. It got it over to Adamitis. And Graham Adamitis is down to the 50-yard line. What a play action by Navarro. Everybody thought Emmanuel had the football, and he was going to the far sideline. And then great job by Navarro to get it over to Adamitis, get it to the midfield stripe, first down and 10, 17 yards on the passing catch.
And Graham Adamitis using that video game truck stick there, using his bulky muscles to be able to get those yak yards. He's the wide receiver you can get first downs with and then use his body to get even more yards and move the chains.
9 in the box once again for Fox Chapel.
Here's Foster. Lowering his shoulder. Foster still on it. Comes flying in late. As Foster was tight roping the near sideline. Got to about the 42-yard line before not being knocked out of bounds. And we will check this flag. Looks like it's going to be against Central Catholic. Thank you to our official here tonight. Once again, that's
I need some pineapple juice, though.
Bob Boyd.
He had a raspy throat. He was.
I need a little pineapple myself.
I talk about a revolution. I started the call. Last day keeps the doctor away, especially when you're on the air. Drink some apple juice. It'll soothe the throat and give you the voice like myself.
Of an angel.
Yeah, there you go. The voice of an angel. Wow. There you go. I wasn't going to go that far, but hey, it wasn't out of my mouth.
First down and 16, cutting this off before this goes sideways. From the 44, what are you doing, Carlo?
That was all Carlo. That was all Carlo. Hey, that was a fast one down the middle, but he hit it out of the park.
Pick up of 2 yards on the carry there, and it will be second down and 14 from the 46-yard line for Central Catholic. Under 9 to play here in the second quarter, 30-0. Things have kind of slowed down to a lull since Central racked up 30 points in the first quarter. Low snap, handled by Marr, rolling out to his right side, has time, stops and pops, sliding down, trying to make the catch on the far side was John Patrician, but there was a flag back on the opposite side of the field.
Oh, that's an odd spot for a flag.
Yeah,
there were no routes.
There was nobody there.
Over there.
There was not a fight either, and that's the only other reason why you'd see a flag maybe in the middle of the field when the team was on the 40.
Legal man downfield.
Yeah.
Is the indication.
Good call there, Matt.
Okay, there you're going to pat yourself on the back. There's a prediction from Matt Fargo. The play-by-play gets involved. Nostradamus for Matt Fargo. But I don't know how you guys feel about this, and Carl mentioned it earlier. I see 30-0 on the scoreboard. We've seen Central merciful teams, blow out teams past. It doesn't have the vibe of one of those. It doesn't feel like Central Catholic being just overpowering.
And it's mainly their defense.
That's really what swung this. And now you have Navarro second down and 19 after the penalty. Nearly sacked. Ball avoids the sack. Comes into the near side. Throw and complete his pass out to grab Midas. And Midas is going down the far sideline. And I think this one's going to be coming back. But Midas is going all the way to the Central touchdown. And then he lost the ball and it went out of the back of the end zone. But I believe they're going to say he broke the plane. They're going to say the call right now was a touchdown, but there's about 19 shots back to the 50-yard line. I think this is all going to be null and void, but it was fun to watch.
It was fun.
It was fun to watch.
It was a screen pass. The lineman ran downfield because it was a screen. So expect the legal man downfield here.
More yak from Adamitis.
Yeah, Adamitis there.
Once again. Replay second down.
Yeah,
he can't think straight. He has the voice trouble. He can't think straight.
Boy.
Getting annoyed by people on the poundy. Maybe they switch mics and someone else do that for him.
Adamitis, though. Little shake and bake.
Yeah.
Nice.
And some speed.
Yeah.
Some afterburners down the far sideline.
I'm hearing he's a Princeton lean.
Right now?
Yeah.
Very
smart.
Very smart. Catholic.
Yep. Harvard and Princeton.
Harvard and Princeton, wow.
You forget the other Catholic schools, Ivy League.
Yeah.
Well, somehow I believe that that run there for Adamitis is going to make his highlight tape regardless of whether or not that counted.
I put it in. They don't need the referee.
Delay handoff to Foster, and Foster eating up some of that lost penalty yardage, getting it back to the 45-yard line before finally being brought down on the play by Carrington Vaughn. It's a 9-yard run for Foster.
Vaughn has been silent tonight. He's one of the Fox Chapel playmakers there. It's the first time I've heard his name.
Adamitis has kind of emerged as maybe the premier receiver for Central Catholic, especially since Michael Navarro's taken over the offense.
And it's just such a fun story. His sophomore year, he was the quarterback for this team, and then last year he was the backup and saw a little bit of time. And now, I mean, he's really just been a role player where put me where you need me. I'm going to go make plays.
And he keeps getting bigger. He's huge.
Well, he reminds me of almost a Terrell Owens build where he's so strong, he's so physical, but also has the speed. He can give you a bomb touchdown pass on the sideline, but also can go through the middle and no corner. Nobody on the defense wants to tackle him.
Yeah, he can bully his way down the field and box you out and grab that first down or touchdown ball.
It was a delay of game penalty on Central Catholic, so this has been a penalty-ridden drive for Central Catholic that has it 3rd and 19 from the 41-yard line for the Vikings. An I formation. Back to passes Navarro. Across the middle of the field. Hey, got Johnny Football. Patrician is going to the house. Touchdown, Central Catholic. John Patrician of 40, and that goes 61 yards as Patrician makes the catch for the Central Catholic touchdown. I beg your pardon, 59 yards on the passing catch.
I don't understand. It was 3rd and long, and Fox Chapel's playing the run. I don't understand.
With Johnny Patrician on
the field in the slot.
Wide open, and for the radio side of the broadcast, we probably can't even do it justice how wide open he was. No one within a mile.
It's 3rd and 22. Where's your pass defense? I mean, you got to know it's coming.
Max Sura's kick is true. 7:07 first half. It is Central Catholic rolling 37-0 over Fox Chapel on the 59-yard pass and catch. Navarro to Patrician for the Central Catholic score. And, last car in the empty parking lot wide open.
That's one of those where you can't even put the entire play on your highlight reel because there's nothing to be impressed with on how wide open he was. You put the touchdown, then maybe you put the wave to the fans, but no one's going to say, I'm going to recruit you because wide open you ran into the end zone.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
There wasn't a tackler in sight. All you have to do is catch the football and then run. And as much of an athlete he is, he's the player you key on. He's the player you double team. I know he's been not 100% in this game, but when he's on the field, you need somebody on him, if not more than one.
You need 4 eyes on him.
You do.
68-yard drive for Central Catholic, and they only had 6 official plays, but it felt like about 16.
One of them got all the yards.
Yeah.
And Central tried to bite themselves in the foot. Central Catholic with the mistakes, penalties this season, that's the one thing I'm sure the coaches are going to say, hey, we want to be undefeated, championship or bust. We cannot make these mistakes now, anytime, because we don't want to make them in the playoffs.
Rocky send that one out of bounds, so that will give Fox Chapel the football at the 35. I don't know, keep an eye on Champ Sports Network and WPIAL Insider for the student section battle, as the winner of the student section challenge will be in a Champ Sports Network commercial. That is the prize that you will get. And I'm impressed with Fox Chapel. They're down 37-0, and they're still chanting.
They're rocking the house
up here.
They're rocking the house for us. And you want a Twitter brawl? I've seen some of those. The student section gives you those awards, give you the Twitter brawl. And what more could you ask for than to be in a Champ Sports Network commercial?
And to get an update on that Twitter fight, Central posted their picture of them painting the Fox Chapel Fox from a few years ago.
You want something that made the papers. Everyone in the media, everyone who has a pulse knows about that. Who's listening to this broadcast, I'm sure.
I wonder that it was something similar at Penn State, where the Lion got defaced, if you will, and now it's obviously not really a real threat, but there are groups at Penn State now that have to man guard during football games of the line. I wonder if the Foxes did.
Yeah, they can blame Pittsburgh Central Catholic, though, and then the students for that. They've been trendsetters.
I was told last year they had a 24-hour security guard on it. So
yeah, I did hear that because they did not. That's something that they all hold near and dear, and maybe they should probably focus more on the football field.
Urso just going to let it fly as a lot of pressure was barreling down on him. He throws it incomplete. He lost a yard on the first play from scrimmage on that one, so it's going to be now 3rd down and 11 at the 34-yard line for Fox Chapel. 6:17 to play, and it's 37-0 if you're just tuning in. Central Catholic leads it.
Here's an interesting Quad A score. Both teams 1-2, I believe. NA and USC. NA is up 10-7 right now.
Okay, and Upper St. Clair kind of we really don't know how
another
good,
wild card.
We know they're kind of in the middle of the road, but how good are they? I think that's a really good matchup to figure it out.
We don't know about either team, really.
Spinning off of one and falling forward was Sean Chatembo. And he spins off of a defender, and he's maybe got one back. So it's going to be 4th down and 12. And the punt unit is out for Fox Chapel. I didn't see Urso take a snap on that last one. I don't think Urso was the one taking.
You know what? He got hit a few times. I seen him taking off something. It might have been his QB wristband last series. I don't know what it was.
Punts away. This is actually going to be a great punt. And Hamlin's going to have to go field this one way back at zone 10 and make 2 miss. Here's Hamlin. Makes another one miss. And Hamlin juking and jiving for about a 4-yard return.
And I'll tell you what, that was an impressive 4-yard return
It could have been worse. The ping-ponging could have got himself to lose yards.
And but good containment there by Fox Chapel to put an end to all that juking and jiving before it really got interesting, as that will be kind on the stop for Fox's 5:23 first half. And Central with their, this is going to be their toughest drive, starting all the way back here, and that was a 59-yard punt, thanks to some rolling by the pigskin off of this turf.
And right now, we start into the second half. It will be a mercy roll, so right. Fox Chapel needs to score here.
Offset eye for Navarro. Foster, the man set back. Adamitis in motion left to right. Swing out to Foster. He'll try to cut back inside, spin off a man, and get to the 20-yard line. As Foster picking up 8 yards on the first down carry, brought down by Fox Chapel's Thomas Smith.
And what I've seen on the defensive side for Fox Chapel, at least so far in this game, they're just straight up man coverage. Everybody blitzes for the rest of the linebackers.
For a quarterback, an elite quarterback,
you pick that apart.
You pick that apart.
Yes.
You love that, because if they blitz, that means there's going to be somebody either wide open or on man-to-man, and when you have the weapon Central Catholic does.
And that's what they did on that 3rd and 20 whatever play. It was like 3rd and 28 or something.
And up right up the middle, Totten breaking him free. Brian Totten going down the middle of the field. Totten finally caught down at the 22-yard line. But the fullback busting free and showing a second gear. And that's the second one that Totten has broke, Mike, that he just hasn't quite got in. Well, he's still seeking that touchdown.
That was more, though, on the tacklers. Yeah. Other one that he had no one near him, trips over his own shoelaces or trips over the grass on the natural grass at Shaler. I had to do a double take, though, when I saw him running with the football. I couldn't imagine that being Totten. I thought maybe Jones, Foster, somebody else had the football. He really was able to put the pedal to the gas right through the Fox Chapel defense.
Put the pedal to the gas. That needs to be on a pillow.
They could. I just have so many of these phrases that I all out of the pockets, all out of the holsters. I want to use them all.
Keep them coming.
That's 57 yards by Totten. And a run here by Foster as he's carrying defenders down to around the 11-yard line. It will be a Central Catholic first down as he's able to pick up first down yardage.
And he took about 6 defenders with him. That was impressive.
You can't say Central's running up the score. These have been all on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
It's
simple plays.
Every play has been on the ground, and they're just carrying defenders. They're not gonna just fall over for anybody.
First down, a gain of 11 for Foster. They put the ball at the 13-yard line. First and 10 from the 13-yard line. Taking a while to get this play as they're going to wind the clock now.
Giving us some suspense here.
Navarro from the offset eye. Emmanuel now the lone setback, and he gets the call. And Emmanuel going untouched into the end zone for the Central Catholic touchdown. As he carries it 13 yards for another Viking touchdown, and another young man in blue and gold gets into the end zone, and they are sharing the rock tonight. And here's Max Ura's extra point coming up.
Joining the touchdown party. Another one unscathed. Easy touchdown.
And nobody for Central, does anybody have multiple touchdowns? I think
No,
there's like 5 guys with a
they're
touchdown.
spreading it out. You multiple receivers, multiple running backs, tight end, the fullback setting up the touchdown drive. Everybody feeling like they're a part of this offensive explosion for Pittsburgh Central Catholic, and that's what you want. Heartbeat of your season, middle of the season, and everyone's holding their heads up high that, hey, I'm playing at my best and we're scoring.
Oh, yeah.
88-yard drive in 4 plays for Central Catholic. That does not sound like Central Catholic football.
Yeah.
No.
At all.
But that's probably the one phrase they never dreamed they would hear all season, and they are elated to be hearing.
Yes.
We asked questions last week. What would not win a Quad A championship for Pittsburgh Central Catholic to defend? Upper St. Clair, there, we don't know. North Allegheny, Central's already beat them handily. We don't know. Woodland Hills has had close games. Central Catholic, the prohibited favorite, but that offense was not there. What we're seeing tonight, now yes, it is Fox Chapel, but what we're seeing tonight, that offense is there and then some, and now I see no blemish and no reason why, except for the mirror in front of them, on why they would not win a Quad A championship again.
And the only thing I can think of is Pine Richland. How good are the Rams? They're up on Kiski right now, going to be 4-0, so.
27-0, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a game to tune in for
Bobbled around and then picked up at the 5-yard line. Got to make up some ground. Got the 15, got up to the 20 before being knocked out of bounds.
That's Hawthorne again.
Yeah, it is.
He's everywhere tonight.
Hawthorne is all over the football right now. And, I mean, you also, it almost feels like it was a Coons days ago, but the amazing play by Romello Broughton, taking away that pass from Urso and running that one into the end zone. Broughton, 6'1", 235 pounds. Not easy to get that thing moving in the same direction.
No, stumbling and bumbling?
Yes,
Would that fit?
Stumbling, bumbling, fumbling.
You were going to make it into a song?
I was hoping to.
Did Carlo just sing on the broadcast? Did he just sing on the broadcast? Twitter, Carlo just sang on the broadcast.
Handoff on first down as we have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the first half.
And is it a little late for a trick play, maybe something up your sleeve here for Fox Chapel? Just to get something going.
Something. Although you said that Coach Totten would laugh at a trick play.
Most likely.
Who's the second best team in Quad A right now? Central Catholic being the favorite, the defending champion, they're undefeated, they're the best team.
I would think Woodland Hills and then Pine Richland at 3.
And that's a distant 2 and 3.
Yes.
Based on what we've seen as their resumes.
But Pine Richland is the question mark. They could be a lot better than what we thought. And also Penn Trafford is another question mark there.
Yeah. I taking a look at that Champ Sports Network Power Rankings this week.
Yes.
Updated.
Where were you? We didn't even look at it when I was asking the question. Where were you on the power rankings based on what Carlo just said? Similar answers?
Yeah, I think, obviously, I think Pine Richland right now has to be, in that conversation. And honestly, Woodland Hills, The only thing that scares me right now with Woodland Hills is their performance against Bethel Park. That it just doesn't add
Here's
up to me. I don't think they
maybe it
deserve
was
to win
just
there.
maybe it was just one of those weeks. Maybe it's just one of those off weeks. It was controversial though.
Usually Woodland Hills is one of those teams that'll drop 2 games of the first 5 and then come out rolling
They did
week
the last
6.
2 years.
They're a surprise team. When people pick them, they don't win.
Right.
When nobody talks about
That's
them.
when they get it together.
They're in Heinz Field. They're in the Quad A championship game.
Well, 4th down coming up here for Fox Chapel with 2 minutes to play in the first half, and punt unit is out for Foxes. It'll be 4th down and 13, and Central will get the football back with a little bit of time. And a flag comes flying in here, so hold the phone.
Do you sit on it though? They are not to rub it in. Friends as the head coaches. 144 here in the first half.
This has been a conversation that's been talked about throughout the WPIAL this year on games with mismatches, and I think there's really a fine line between sitting on the football and that being just as embarrassing as if you were just trying.
That would embarrass me, right?
So really, you gotta have to play. I say never sit. There should never be a need. There should never be anyone sitting on the football. I think you need to start talking about putting some substitutions in those. But Patrician fields this punt up the far sideline, and Patrician is going to give Central some fantastic field position to work with 1:26 to play in the first half. They're going to have the football right around the 23, 24-yard line. No, they're going to even be better shape, 20-yard line.
And the head coaches, though, they know the game. They know the rosters. I am sure there's a text message or a phone call that, hey, if this is the outcome at halftime, what do you want me to do? I don't want to embarrass you. You don't want to embarrass me. We're not trying to rub it in anyone's face. Would you prefer me to sit on it? Would you prefer me to just run it on the ground? I'm sure that conversation's taking place this week, too, between the head coaches.
And what I'm told, kneeling on it is just a slap in the face.
That's even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
Sure. I would feel to be embarrassed if someone's going to kneel on it already at 44.
I don't agree with it. I think they're being kind, but yeah, I could see why.
I mean, you hand it
considered.
off, but you're playing football.
Well, we alluded to it.
Stop me.
Michael Navarro no longer in the game. Graham Adamitis checking over at quarterback in the offset eye. It's just
he probably barked at the coaches, hey, let me have a snap at quarterback.
He's Mr. Utility for them.
And they hand it off the right side and carrying down to the far sideline, I believe.
I think that was Foster again still.
Was it Foster?
Yeah.
Trying to give you one of those memorable, classic touchdown reception, touchdown pass, touchdown run by the same player in the game.
Yeah, for some odd reason, I saw Foster and thought he was a little bit smaller than I originally thought he was. But it was Foster, and Foster carried down to the 6-yard line where it's 1st down and goal. And Foster lines up in the offset eye. Adamitis gets the snap, turns around, gives it off to Foster. Foster bounces it, got the pile on. He's into the end zone for the Central Catholic touchdown. Grant Foster from 6 for 6.
Handoff, connection, touchdown. Another walk under the end zone, this time towards more up the middle through the defensive line. Foster gets himself another touchdown for those fantasy stats they've been putting up this season. And Central Catholic, halfway to the century, 5-0 on that scoreboard. Take a picture of it, folks. And this is even before the extra point, but Central Catholic really laying it on Fox Chapel.
And I'm guessing, of course, you got to bring out your backup second half.
I mean, they
backup quarterback.
Here.
Do you mean does even Foster, does Jones?
And they're kneeing on it.
No, they're not even.
They're keeping the even 50.
Yeah.
Now take a picture.
Yeah. I was gonna say that was a little bit odd.
Yeah. I mean, you go from the ultimate. If you're Mitch Maxeri, you're like, hey, coach, I kind of want to I led the team in scoring last year. I kind of want to add another point here. But
and if I'm the opposing head coach, I wouldn't mind an extra point.
Yeah.
It's not like they're throwing for the touchdown. An extra point's kind of just a gimme.
Well, my question is, why are your starters out there running into the end zone and then kneeling on the extra point?
Right.
You know?
That does kind of contradict.
Yeah.
With a minute left.
You change quarterbacks, but
you
have if Foster's out there, you're bringing an athlete.
Right.
Well, Foster got in, and it's a 2-play, 20-yard drive that results in Central Catholic leading this one after, 23 minutes of play, 50-0.
At this pace, are we going to see 100 points? I mean,
I don't think so.
Obviously, no. I say
Not
that
even
sarcastic. 50-0. This is a game where obviously Central was supposed to win. I thought they were going to win. And what they did against North Allegheny, they were coming in confident, but Fox Chapel wasn't a team that I thought necessarily would be this on the scoreboard.
Well, to be honest with you, I think the difference is, and looking back at the last 3 weeks, the difference is Central Catholic's offense did not come out flat like they have the last 3 weeks.
And they're getting better
That's
and better.
the
This isn't week 1. This isn't Bethel Park and Shaler week 1 and 2. This offense now is revved up.
There's Fox Chapel on the return. Getting it up to the 25-yard line. That was Darius Booker on the return. Hey, Central Catholic fans, the other football, Central Catholic soccer team will travel to Couple Stadium to face Taylor Alderdice tomorrow at 11:45 a.m. The Vikings will be looking to improve to 9-0-0, 6-0 in section play. So both football teams for Central Catholic.
Football.
Are on
Yeah, Matt. I was going to say
football.
football.
You gotta give the accent.
Got
Football. There's a tilde. There's an accent mark. Try. Give an attempt.
You don't get bashed for not trying there, Matt, okay?
Seriously.
Jeez.
Yeah, you're gonna. How many? Wayne Gretzky? What did he say? You're gonna miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. Loss of one on the play. On that run, Billy Urso is in a quarterback at this time for Fox Chapel. So,
And the clock is moving. Yeah, they don't even need a snap. But will they?
I beg your pardon. No, this is Dimitri Stepina. Stepina is in a quarterback now for Fox Chapel. Stepina is a 6-foot sophomore, and he's going to let this one wind down and take it to the end of the first half, where it has been all Central Catholic.
And Matt, when we said it really doesn't feel like a blowout, it really feels like a blowout.
Now it does.
Now it does.
Now it does.
Now it does.
Central rolling to a blowout in the first half.
50-0 after 24. It's Central Catholic football here on the Champ Sports Network. Central trying to improve to 4-0. Will they? Well, come back and find out. 24 minutes left to go in this broadcast. Back here on the Champ Sports Network.
It's never too early to get ready for the Viking Youth Football Camp, the annual event run by the coaching staff at Central Catholic. The camp provides youth entering grades 4 through 9 the opportunity to learn how to play the game of football. They are taught by some of the best high school coaches in the area, who are in turn assisted by many current Viking football players. Please remember to save the dates for the 2015 camp, July 20th through the 22nd, 2015, each night from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Central Catholic High School Field Turf. Log on to centralcatholicfootball.com to print out an application form and for more information.
Welcome you back to Fox Chapel, Champ Sports Network. Presentation of Central Catholic football at the break. Central rolling 50-0 on the Foxes, who are not being very sly tonight. Back alongside Mike Osti and Carlos Zofko. Oh, wait.
Are we going to let him in? Late to the party. See, another rookie mistake. Not aware of when we're going to go back to halftime, and then we lock him out. Going to hazing.
Boys, I went and was going to see what Central was doing. It's all backups.
Well, what's the report? Oh, they're all backup?
Expect Freddie Hurt to be the quarterback this half. Got a little bit locked out there, trouble getting in. Thought I had VIP access.
We do condone hazing here at the Champ Sports Network. We do condone hazing.
No, we do not. We do not.
Maybe Mike Osti condones.
Okay.
Or
So
at least of the broadcasters.
okay. Yeah.
We don't condone bullying. We don't condone bullying.
Yes.
Fun hazing.
Whatever that is.
You know, cutting the hair, all that good stuff.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
You can cut my hair if you want to haze me, sure.
Yeah. For Mike, I guess that wouldn't be an issue. I think if we just Mike's would be like just muting his mic.
That'd be rough. It'd be a tough thing to swallow. I don't know. But I'm loud enough that maybe I could still get on accidentally through your mic.
Yeah, that could be possible. I'm enjoying Sweet Carolina being played in the Fox Chapel student section.
Yeah, and they're enjoying themselves.
And I got word that not only is the high school participating in the student section, but there are middle school students in the student section with the same theme.
They're teaching them.
That's impressive.
You know what? They're teaching them.
I was looking at that student section, and I was like, this is like the youngest student section I have ever seen in my entire life.
Everyone's a freshman.
That makes so much sense.
The baby faces, they get to break the razors.
Yeah, look at all these guys. I'm like, oh my goodness.
You know.
I was like, I'm only 3 years out of high school here. It feels like 10.
But maybe this is just me, though. It almost seems like playing Sweet Carolina. I know Pitt does that. The Boston Red Sox done it. It's getting
played out a little bit.
It's getting overdone. Thank you.
Penn State does it now.
But yeah, Penn State did.
Penn State did it.
High schools don't do it often.
Wisconsin used to do jump around, but then I heard them playing Sweet Carolina. There was 1 week of college football. There were 6 different teams in the same day that played it.
Wow.
That's unreasonable and unbelievable. There got to be some mandate there.
I want to double check this with Jeff. Am I reading 2 scores that have 2-0? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jeff gives you the eyebrow, but yes, that is. Don't question me again.
So there's 2 games in Quad A that right now the score at the half. North Hills leads Seneca Valley 2-0, and Newcastle in a triple quad crossover.
Someone's reading over your shoulder with the same eyebrow.
Newcastle leads Peters Township 2-0.
And
we don't lie. We don't lie, sir.
Other scores from around the area: Trinity leading Albert Gallatin 14-7. Pine Richland is rolling on Kiski right now, 33-0. Upper St. Clair trailing North Allegheny 10-7. Connellsville right now on top of Henfield 14-6. Norwin on Plum 14-10. Bethel Park on Cannon McMillan 21-0. Penn Hills leading Lebo 17-6. Woodland Hills over Baldwin right now 13-0. Central Valley blanking Moon 20-0. Montour rolling on Hopewell 34-6. Hampton in an interesting one over Yock 9-0. As we are underway from Fox Chapel this second half, Foxes to get the football, and they bring it up to just around the 29-yard line. Drive summary, gentlemen, for the first half of play. 45-yard drive, 5 plays, gives Central a 6-0 lead. A pick six that went 22 yards made it 13-0. Then a 60-yard drive and a 30-yard field goal made it 16-0. Followed by a 41-yard, 4-play drive, making it 23-0. Another interception return for a touchdown. This one 30 yards, made it 30-0. Made it 37 on a 68-yard drive that went 6 plays in the second quarter. An 88-yard drive that went 4 plays. A 2-play, 20-yard drive to round out 50-0, as first play for Fox Chapel is a stacked-up run that will lose 4 yards as they move it back to the 26-yard line.
And this is Central starting D. This is Central starting D here with a few subs. Looks like they're gradually subbing them out.
We've already seen an offense subbing out the quarterback, and see what they do weaponry-wise on offense.
And let's also keep in mind, too, that this is now going to be the 4th series without Billy Urso for Fox Chapel. This is going to still be Spina in at quarterback, and he hands it off the left side.
What was that Seneca Valley score, Matt?
2-0 North Hills.
That's the first game they've been in this year. They said TJ Hall.
Yep.
Yeah. Was he back this week?
Yes.
Oh, he is.
Yes,
okay.
He is back. He came returned this week.
They said.
Oh, wait. How?
I'm off here. They. I was told soon. That was the best I could get, but
yeah, you don't have a date on that one.
Yeah, I didn't have a date. I was very
soon.
upset.
I don't know what soon
very
is,
upset
Carlo.
at that. I was thinking before playoffs, after playoffs.
Soon's kind of misleading.
Jack Brown, a sophomore for Fox Chapel, injured on the last play, and he's being helped off by the training staff of Fox Chapel before we resume play here with a 3rd and 14 from the 26-yard line. 10:30 to play here in the third quarter, and Fox Chapel, the opening drive of this third quarter. Spina from under center. And handed off. And boy, is he met in the backfield by a host of white jerseys. First one flying to the football was DeMar Hamlin.
On the corner blitz there. He does a lot of things great, DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah, putting it mildly there.
Yeah, and he's back to return. His returning hasn't been that great so far tonight, at least.
Punt away here for Fox Chapel as they punt this one away, and Hamlin will field this one on the bounce. And now move upfield across the 45, carrying defenders across the 50-yard line and up to the 48 of Fox Chapel. Is Hamlin able to hammer out another 6-7 yards, carrying defenders, and the Central offense back out onto the field, and it will be a new quarterback, the third one for Central Catholic, as it's Eddie Furterhurt. Furterhurt is in for Central Catholic.
Fun name to say.
Yeah, and I know I've gotten like 20 different pronunciations, so I hope I got the right one.
Yeah, we were going over
right.
the names with
Furterhurt.
the public address announcer, and I don't think anybody around that sheet pronounced his name correctly.
So Furterhurt under center, offset eye, hands it off the left side. First carry of the evening. David Marshall, he's a sophomore, that gets the call. And this is where it almost becomes like NFL preseason football, where the roster is just too long. And so I want to acknowledge, though, was Charlie Batch's favorite time of the year, or time of games, where the second teamers got in, and here's again Marshall busting it to the right side. Look at Marshall! How about that? What a move by Marshall to get the first down.
Did you say a move? How about multiple moves? Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
And I think deserving of his name getting called on the broadcast, this is the moment for some of these players, the Charlie Batch Cinderella stories, where they can get their tape. Maybe they can get themselves to the next level somewhere and get themselves some PT for a championship caliber team, or even for Fox Chapel and helping promote this program and what they can do next year.
Right.
First down at 10 from the 35-yard line. Fighty Hurt from under center, hands it off left side, and kind of trying to break loose there was Bradley Meyer, new ball carrier, 5'7" junior. And Meyer's inside the 30-yard line to the 29 before getting tripped up, picks up 6 yards.
Only thing this does is it shows for Foster and Jones and Totten and Central's running game from the first half that almost anybody can get yards running against the Fox Chapel defense.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they're still walking through the line.
Now, this Fox Chapel starting defense.
I'm sure there's some subs in there, but
yeah, I see some starters out there.
And that was 65 on the run for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. That's Tim Schneider on our roster, listed as an offensive and defensive lineman, 5'10", 205 pounds, but he's a senior. And a senior he's not going to see too many carries, but he gets to see one there.
And he graduates on top.
And I think they have him in at fullback right now, so maybe it's just a simple fullback dive.
3rd and 4. And then off the left side, once again, they go back to Meyer, and Meyer will pick up 2 yards. Maybe 1 is officially spotted. And it will go down to the 28-yard line, so a 4th down and 3 coming up. Schmidt on the stop for Fox Chapel. And 4th down upcoming here, and it looks like Central Catholic will elect to go for it here on 4th down.
We know about the youth on defense for Central Catholic and that 2016 class on defense, but seems like there's some players on offense too.
Hand off and blowing it up in the backfield. 65 in black and red. Marshall gets tossed back. Alec Patsko, 55, 6'2", sophomore, making the stop. Turnover on downs. Fox Chapel gets the football at 6:25 here in the 3rd quarter. Clock will momentarily stop as we get this substitutions of units. And we'll re-roll this clock as, of course, the mercy rule in effect, 50-0 our score currently here at Fox Chapel.
It looks like Fox Chapel's having a little bit of substitution problems there. They have 13 seconds to get their playoff now.
Down to 10. Spina quickly to the line of quarterback, a sophomore, I formation. Little trouble with the snap. Was able to finally get it over to his running back. That is John Rezzatano. John Rezzatano, who's a 5'11 sophomore. His first carry of the evening. Hawthorne on the stop for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And, well, that's one thing that hasn't changed. Chase Hawthorne's been all over the ball and arguably making him a candidate for MVP as far as he has to be leading or got close to tackle leader tonight.
Just finding the football. Central's defense has been doing that. Everybody on the defense does that. They find the football, they go after the football, they swarm in on that football.
Spina from under center once again. Turn around and hand it off. Ball's on the carpet. Ball's still there, and it's picked up by Central Catholic. Coming out of the scrum for Central Catholic, Matt Miles recovers a fumble for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. The sophomore comes through and says, hey, I'm a part of the chain gang too, and I'm going to get a turnover.
Signs his name on the sign.
And another big play defensively for Central Catholic. And, I mean, yeah, teams have changed, but the result does not. Another turnover, and Central Catholic, therefore, gets great field position once again.
Well, Fox Chapel was playing with fire a little bit there. They had multiple plays consecutively that they couldn't really have a clean snap. And then eventually leading to a fumble.
Fighty Hurt from under center, hands it off left side. Once again, David Marshall. Marshall to the far side boundary before being pushed out of bounds. Chitombo on the stop for the Foxes.
Tell you what, Marshall looks promising.
He does.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Nimble on his feet.
180.
Surprising with the size. Carlos says that with a grin.
184 pounds, just 5'8", though. Second down and 4 from the 28 after the pickup of 6 by Marshall. He'll get the call again. Oh, this is new ball carrier down. J.J. Younger. A 5'8", 160-pound sophomore.
How many running backs does this team have? This is like number 8 here.
This is really interesting for me.
And Ron George and Riley Redmond are out.
2016 Pittsburgh Central Catholic, offensively and defensively. This is running back gives you the most points in fantasy sports.
Yeah.
Central Catholic has a team that if they did fantasy sports in high school would be
pretty
the
well.
team to draft.
Needs to work on that. That would, boy, that would.
I tried it a little bit last year. Yeah. I didn't have a template for it.
Just draft all of Central's running backs.
Yeah.
Right here, back under center, hands it off right side. And here is Younger once again. Younger's just 5'8". But there's a young man, Kyle Wilson, who kind of enabled anyone to talk about size and being a dominant running back in the WPIAL. He was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Carlo, could you imagine where he would have been able to go to college?
Oh, man. He was. He was above Damian Jones more on the depth chart, and Damian's at Toledo right now.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine.
And the MAC connection that Central Catholic's had with Eugene Jarvis and Kent State would have probably been at least to there.
We'll be doing a piece on Kyle next month, so you have to stick around and tune in for that as dive play on 4th and 3. Going to be awfully close to the sticks. That was Marshall back in for Central. Vaughn will get the credit for the stop, so they are going to give Central a first down. But, yeah, you mentioned, Carlo, there are some starters still out there. I think they're intermingled with some substitutions.
It could even now be, though, if I'm a coach at Fox Chapel and I see Central's backups doing this, I might not necessarily pull my starters right away. I might say, here's a message. I'm going to embarrass you if you're not going to get tackles on the 5th-string running back. Then I'm going to let you sweat it a little bit out there. We're not going to give you the break you probably are hoping for to be on the sideline.
Yeah.
You got to get stops. If you're the starting linebacker, if you're the starting D-end, you got to be able to get stops against the backups for Central Catholic's B team.
First down at 10. Marshall, the ball carrier. A sweep to the left side. Marshall breaks the tackle. Got the first down inside the 10-yard line. Marshall with very nimble feet, making a great move to get inside the 10-yard line down to the 8. It's a first down and goal for Central Catholic after the pickup of 13 yards.
And I love it. How many yards after contact does Marshall have? He's running hard, running great. Looks very promising for the Vikings.
Careful with the football, holding it in,
using
his feet, never stopping to move, always trying to go forward with the football, and all the weapons you have. I'm Michael Navarro on the sideline. I'm salivating. All these weapons, if there's an injury, they can plug somebody else in, give you the same production.
Yeah. And he reads blocks very well.
First and goal for Central Catholic. Tailback is Younger. And I beg your pardon, now getting the carry now is Bradley, back to Bradley Meyer. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter, where the score remains the same as it was at halftime. Pittsburgh Central Catholic 50, Fox Chapel nothing here on the Champ Sports Network. We'll come back with the final quarter of this one from Fox Chapel after these quick words.
Who's Clarendon playing?
For all things Central Catholic football during the 2014 campaign, log on to centralcatholicfootball.com. Your one-stop shop for scores, standings, stats, pictures, and even these broadcasts from the Champ Sports Network, all located at centralcatholicfootball.com, your home for Viking football 24/7.
Returning to Fox Chapel here on the Champ Sports Network. Welcome you back alongside Mike Osney, Carlos Zofko, and Matt Fargo. Our Champ Sports Network crew bringing you Pittsburgh Central Catholic football all season long. The only place you can hear all of Central Catholic's games this season. And we'll be in Connellsville next week, or Mike will be.
I will be there. What's the term, though, to describe having only all of Central's games? Exclusivity?
Yes.
Exclusive for Pittsburgh Central Catholic this season.
Exclusive rights.
Exclusive rights. There's the term. Everyone can look that up in your dictionary if you don't understand.
Now, will we have this in the playoffs?
In one way or another.
We'll give you updates on that as the season progresses.
Yeah,
but I wish everyone on radio or even on air in general could have seen Carlos' face when they announced there's walking tacos.
Slipping a tackle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Central Catholic. Bradley Meyer, the junior, gets in from 8 away as he was as slick as you could get, slipping his way through 3 or 4 different tackles in the middle of that line to get in from 8 yards.
As slick as butter. You don't want to throw butter.
Hard.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh no, but I don't prefer hard butter.
Cold butter is the worst butter.
I am
unspreadable.
No.
Why give it?
Not
Why
cold
give
butter. What I do if the butter's cold, you put it in the microwave for 10 seconds, you make it smooth. You got it. I'm sorry.
That's what I do. That's what I
You don't
do.
put hard butter on my
No.
bread. No.
No
I don't slap in the face.
It is.
It
It's
really
assaulting.
is.
It really
They
is.
took a knee. They did not score. Once again, 11:42 to left to play here in the fourth. It's 56-0. That's a 32-yard drive eclipsing 7 plays. And then we went on the rant about butter.
Well, and the listeners have no idea the touchdown. Have more knowledge now about the butter preference of Carlo and
Biggest
myself.
pet peeve, one of the biggest pet peeves I have, can't be the biggest, but one of the biggest, is at a restaurant, I have a roll with my salad, and then they bring
Can't spread the butter.
the butter packets that are harder than
You can-
they're like frozen.
And don't
Ridiculous.
You can still warm up the butter packet. You can still give a butter packet that can be
you have to
spreadable.
bring a portable
Yeah, I'm
microwave to
confused.
restaurant?
Oh,
Do tell.
no. I mean, the waitress could do it for you. I don't mean you have to.
Right.
They could bring
should
you.
do that. I should have to ask.
Yeah.
Oh, of course not. But they should know if they're trying to get a tip. They're our employee during the transaction. Hard butter is just no hard butter. As John
Al says
Gruden would
put
say.
it under your armpit. That's his idea.
No.
Not a bad one.
I don't want anything else, any remnants of anything else in this butter.
You know what? I miss Matt Butter, the running back from. Now I'm not going to be able to remember, but that would have been perfect.
As you asked yourself.
Yeah, I was confused at that as well. Mike.
You know what I miss, Matt?
Fox Chapel sets up first down and 10 from the 30-yard line here. As we wind it on down to about 11:20 on a moving Mercy Roll clock. Of course, we were talking about how the Mercy Roll has become a verb, Mercy rolling and rolled.
Mercy rolled.
And Central Catholic is very, very. I lost the word, but they really know the verb.
Everybody's asking themselves questions today.
They're a proponent. They're pro Mercy roll.
Yes.
They want to be a Mercy rolling team.
Hand off on first down for Fox Chapel. Forward progress stopped.
This
Booker
second team defense is everywhere for the Vikings. That's a gang tackle there.
42, 80, and 15 all in on the stop. Matt Miles, who just scored the touchdown. Tim Terry. And Mike Truxell on the stop.
Class of 2016. I've heard this from many different directions. That Central class of 2016 on defense might be the best they've ever had, and this year defensively has been the best they've ever had.
Bookser again on the call, stopped by a host of white jerseys. How about Rodney Thomas? He is a 5'5", 127 out there right now, and he's playing with the Cats.
Gotta love it.
He's a warrior, man. He's a warrior. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
That is very played out.
He can get a poster, put it on him. I didn't invent the phrase.
It's
He's
one of
living
my
it.
least favorite phrases nowadays.
He's living it out. Tell him you dislike the phrase.
Hey,
I'm
you
sure
know
he
what,
embraces
Carlo,
it.
you just need to settle down and put your pedal on the gas. Flag of the play.
And dogs can't do that, though. So.
Yeah, that was LaDainian Tomlinson's big phrase. He was like 5'11", 220. Like, you're a pretty big guy there, LaDainian.
Yeah, future Hall of Famer, but yeah, 5'11" for running back in the National Football League is not exactly mini-me. Fox Chapel, if I'm a Fox Chapel coach, I want to see something out of my team here in the second half. Scoreboard's what it is, but I want to see my team put a drive together.
Yeah, you never want to see a team quit, which, I mean, I'm looking. The receivers are out there blocking. Tight ends are out there blocking down the field. I don't think they quit necessarily. I just think it's Central defense just being swarming.
And you know what? Here's the catch, and this is I kind of going back to what I was saying with Charlie about loving this is now the players that are in, this is their time to shine.
They're hungry.
They're not going to shy away from the contact.
No, but Central's B team might be better than some teams' A team in Quad A. That's been kind of proved.
And
got away.
We have a clothesline there on the punter.
Fox Chapel probably is going to get a first down out of this.
I mean, he didn't run into him either. I mean, it was a clothesline.
It was a clothesline?
Yeah, it was.
Clothesline, power driver, body slam for the 3 count.
Yeah. So, yeah, Fox Chapel will retain possession of the ball with a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. 8:13 to play in regulation, 56-0. And for Fox Chapel, you know, they're going to fall to 1-3 on the year, and their schedule does lighten up with games against Canada McMillan and Shaler before returning to kind of the brunt of the schedule. They still have another tough game with North Allegheny and then Butler and Hempfield. So really, I think from what I've seen from this offense and keeping an eye on is Billy Urso okay or not, that's going to be a big part. But, you know, you're talking about really the question mark game out of any of them, North Allegheny, but every other of them, I think.
Oh, very winnable, yes. And even so, NA,
yeah, even NA,
possibly
because
winnable.
they played right with Central Catholic in the first half, but then Central was able to run it away, and NA did have to have a turnover cause them that touchdown. They haven't exactly been world beaters this season, a lesser NA team than we're used to.
And what Fox Chapel did to Seneca Valley,
right.
Allegheny struggled with Seneca Valley.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why we thought, or at least I did, I'll admit, coming into this game, thought Central would win, but I didn't think 56-0.
I was not thinking 56-0 either. After Central's performance last week.
No. This is a team on a mission now, and here's the ball on the floor again. There's another turnover. I think, I don't know, did Fox Chapel able to fall on that one? That this time they were, yes. Nope. Central Catholic was able to fall on it. 45, Shane Frerick, a 6'1", 195-pound
sophomore.
You got it.
Love it.
Youth. Second half in these type of games, it's the youth. Class 2016 for both teams, class 2017 maybe. Central's one of those programs that just never goes away. They're a championship contender and a favorite every single season.
First down at 10 for Central.
Trouble on the snap. No, fumbled snap.
Lost the snap.
Yeah. And I think Fox Chapel landed on it.
Is that the call?
They did.
There's no
falling on
celebration.
Ball was recovered for Fox Chapel by, I believe I saw 47, Eric Moisler.
And was that Ferdy Hurt in there at QB or Drake Toto? Because
No,
I know they
Toto.
had. It was Toto.
In that quarterback. Yeah, that was his first snap, I would have said.
I was going to say, I heard that they were going to play both of them this half.
Maybe Carlo needs the pineapple juice.
Ugh. Struggling over here.
We gotta
guys.
have a bottle. We gotta have a jug of pineapple juice at every press box.
Well, here's the stat of the night right now is Fox Chapel sits at the 46-yard line. They've never been across the 50-yard line. all game.
And that defense probably knows and does not want to let them get beyond with them on the field.
And that is quite the stat there. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, they lose the shutout streak and they have a new
It's one of those things in a
streak.
broadcast that kind of you're not really keeping track of what a statistic there.
And I am looking for Urso on the sideline. I don't see him.
Yeah.
Maybe being attended to somewhere.
That's what I'm thinking.
Al gunning for MVP of this broadcast, though, man.
Certainly not the three of us.
Well, we're disqualified because we've won so many MVP on it.
There we go. Booker again, the ball carrier, and he is going to be brought down at the 9-yard line. So they're flirting with it right now.
Is this gonna be a moment? Are we gonna have a tearjerker here in any post-game press conference? What did that mean to you to get beyond the 50-yard line?
3rd and 7 from the 49, 4:30 to play in regulation. Shout out again to Fox Chapel student section.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Central student section is almost gone, but Fox Chapel student section still here. It's a home game. They have camo on. Middle school, high school, they're still here.
Oh, he's brought down right at the 50-yard line.
He was over and came back over.
And that's going to be 4th down. And I believe they're going to
Looks like the
punt
punt unit is out.
Oh, wow.
And they didn't get over the 50.
Listeners at home, this is a veteran move by this broadcast team. It's 56-0, but we're keeping you logged on and listening to this game because now I need to know whether or not Fox Chapel gets over the 50-yard line with their offense. They have yet to do it here tonight, now at the 50.
We're not Pedro Gomezing.
We are not, and awful announcing does not need to link this. They can link me, though, for my tweets.
For your awful announcing? Or what?
No, I was on there once for my tweets. I said my tweets, not my awful announcing. But I even said that I would take being unlinked up for my on-air work. It'll promote me for something.
Right.
There's no bad press.
And
you want to get national.
Ask the national football.
Well, there can be some. There's no bad press, I guess, for us.
Flag of the play right now after the punt.
There's been some extracurricular activity after a lot of these plays here.
It's a 30-yard punt.
Some frustration, of course, when you're losing by this much.
Central Catholic blocking the back penalty that's going to move them back. But you could not expect Central to maybe run a few more dive plays to just die the rest of this 3 minutes and 31 seconds remaining and send this to the locker room. And I will tip the cap of Terry Todden and this entire Central Catholic staff on a extremely classy second half of football here tonight because there are a lot of coaches throughout the WPIAL.
I don't think they threw one pass.
Go right back at you.
Continue to rally it on, and they have been nothing but classy here tonight.
And Central's been up. They always were a Catholic school. We're all about class. North Allegheny 2 years ago, they kept their starters in until triple zeros. They ran up the score on Central Catholic, or 3 years ago, and then last year Central Catholic said they would not do the same, despite winning in a shutout over NA because they do have the class, and that they've kept up with it. They've done that.
Dive play there for Central. And fumble on the play. Fox Chapel recovers, and guess who gets the ball?
We spoke too soon.
Over the 50-yard line here in the fourth quarter.
That's almost an asterisk, but yeah, right. They get it over the 50-yard line, and could they lose the 50-yard line and the shutout right. With now 2:44? Central using their class, maybe it comes back to haunt them for that defense and their personal achievements.
First down and goal for the Foxes from the 9-yard line. Got a little bit of a cheer from the Fox Chapel faithful still in attendance here tonight.
All
1,200?
Yeah, there's about 1,200 here still in the stands. This is a faithful crowd.
Booker off the left side, no gain. On the stop for Central Catholic, 19, Rob McDonald, a senior for Central Catholic making the stop.
I don't know if I'll say this. I don't know if Central Catholic's fans and student section would still be here if they were trailing 56-0.
Yeah, gotta wonder.
When's the last time that's happened?
It hasn't, but it's an example that will probably never be able to be given. Maybe a state playoff game, if that.
Spina still in a quarterback for Fox Chapel. We'll sweep it. Ball's on the floor. Got picked up by Booker. And he's going to be decked in the backfield by Central Catholic's Tim Terry, another sophomore.
Another one by Tim Terry. He's been on the call here in the second half. Some of these players making their presence felt in the second half.
1 minute coming up on here in the fourth quarter. We're at a minute. Third down and goal from the 14.
And I want them to go into the end zone here. Just throw it up. Maybe come down with it.
Play.
Yeah, if you're Fox Chapel, why not throw?
Why not?
You're not. I mean, it wouldn't be any disrespect for you to throw. You're the team getting off the goose egg.
Booker got stacked up. You're going to lose a few.
They started this at the 8-yard line.
Right.
How did this happen?
Haven't been paying attention? Matt's been explaining.
Now,
or attempting to.
Now we're under 30 seconds, and they're probably going to run. Maybe they're going to run this final play of the game.
Yeah, and no passes once they got to the goal line either. Fox Chapel, you would figure, have some pride to not have that 0 on the scoreboard.
Spada under center. Final play, kind of a miscommunication there with the tailback, and they ended up handing it off. And that is going to conclude our game as Fox Chapel kind of being classy about it and saying, you know what, you guys were classy and not trying to score.
I guess maybe.
We're not going to try to score either. You guys won this one. So tip of the cap to Fox Chapel. And you know what? There are some high-heated moments, emotional moments when games are like this and get out of hand as fast as this one did. And both teams,
definitely,
great coaching, no hot heads, no scrums after tackles, no extracurricular stuff, really. Really a clean game played by both of these teams. Once again, final score here tonight, Pittsburgh Central Catholic. They improved to 4-0 and 3-0 in the section with a 56-0 victory over the Fox Chapel Foxes here tonight from Fox Chapel, as really a dominating performance by Pittsburgh Central Catholic, but aided by a lot of early mistakes by Fox Chapel and the fact that, as we mentioned, guys, that Central Catholic's offense the last 3 weeks has taken a while to get moving. And for whatever reason, this week they didn't. They drove down the length of the field that first drive. They got good field position at the 45-yard line, but they went the distance that first drive. They got really good field position, failed to get a touchdown. They ended up getting a field goal on their third possession to make it 16-0. But really an all-around good performance by Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And this is you really don't know what if you're a Central Catholic coach, you have to be pretty confident with your effort here tonight.
Well, I mean, Pittsburgh Central Catholic often gives a mercy roll, often dominates a game, and they've done that this season. We've seen the scoreboard the way it's been like this already this season before, but Central Catholic in this game, I take more of it away from, forget the 56-0, I take away from the offense, having to go the entire field, giving a touchdown, Michael Navarro using his weapon, spreading out the rock, taking control of this team. It's now his team. This offense showing that they're championship caliber just like the defense. They get another shutout. Fox Chapel in the first half had a defense that was showing up, but still, Central Catholic offense was getting over that defense with either the short passes, finding where to put that football, when to go deep, a little bit more of an opened-up playbook. This game was the best we've seen, all sides of the ball, special teams, field position, athletes, offense, defense, all from Pittsburgh Central Catholic here this week. They win 56-0. They roll to that win, and now Pittsburgh Central Catholic can know they are the best of the best. They're the cream of the cream, and Central Catholic feels like they're a championship team overall.
And I definitely think it is a statement game for this offense.
For the offense.
It's telling the WPIAL, you ask question to our offense, here we'll put up 50 points on Fox Chapel. You know what I mean?
And 50 points in the first half.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
this game was over midway through the second quarter, and it was because of that Central offense.
Well, from the TV side of things, that's going to wrap up our broadcast coverage. Radio side, stick around. We'll continue to recap things here from Fox Chapel. But for now, for Mike Gosti and Carlos Zofko, Jeff Wink and Al Lesh, and, of course, Bill Finciotti, I'm Matt Fargo saying final score once again, Pittsburgh Central Catholic gets a win 56-0 over Fox Chapel. And reminding you, this has been a presentation of Pittsburgh Central Catholic Football on the Champ Sports Network, where champions are heard. Good night, everybody, from Fox Chapel. We will talk to you next week from Connellsville. Till then, good night. It's the nearly famous Champ Sports Network post-game show. Welcome back to Fox Chapel tonight. 56-0 Central Catholic goes over Fox Chapel. Back with Mike and Carlo. I'm Matt. Glad to have you along in tonight's broadcast on the radio side of things. Glad you're still tuning in with us. And really, it's such an interesting game, guys. I really felt like and obviously this second half flew by because of the rolling clock. But I felt like that second half last week with North Allegheny, where Central Catholic scored 3 touchdowns, was a lot more sloppy than even this game was, in the sense that it just seemed like it was, all in all, a very clean game. Not as many penalties for Central Catholic. It just felt, you guys were saying it was 30-0 at the time, that this doesn't feel like a blowout, and it really didn't. It didn't feel like, while Central Catholic was dominating, it didn't really feel like they were dominating.
Not then.
At that point.
Right.
Well, Central Catholic, if I'm a coach, this came off. I don't even mean this insulting to Fox Chapel, but it came off like a Central Catholic practice. They were able to move the football with ease. They got touchdowns when they wanted them. They had this game sewn up early. Unlike the North Allegheny game, where Central was tied going into halftime, they had to score in the final seconds of halftime to tie that game with a touchdown pass to John Patrician. Central Catholic was able to have a second half here. It wasn't sloppy because there was no pressure at all. They knew they already won the game. They're putting in the B team. Some of those players were even able to impress. We saw Myers and company able to get yards and move the football, and probably could have scored touchdowns had they been really
going for it,
because they were playing with class in that second half. But Central Catholic played their best game of the year, their soundest game of the year, and it was a full, complete game. Weeks 1 and 2, we were questioning the offense. Is that championship enough for this defense? Will they let down the defense? The next couple weeks, well, it's the penalties. The offense is scoring, but the penalties, they can't have that to be a championship team. Defense loses its shutout streak. What about the schedule? Now, they've had a test against NA, against a rival that's always a championship team. They've had Fox Chapel. They still got some remainders, maybe Pine Richland, some teams you're not sure about on that schedule, but Central Catholic got to feel like they are the favorite. They're the defending champion. And when we brought up Upper St. Clair, we brought up Woodland Hills, we brought up Pine Richland, we brought up other teams. Central Catholic is the favorite by far. I think it's Central Catholic, and then there is a decent amount of space between them and number 2, 3, and 4.
And Woodland Hills was struggling this week against Baldwin in the first half. I'm not sure what the final ended up being. It's probably still going on.
Yeah, Woodland Hills struggled most weeks in the first half.
Yeah, Woodland Hills they're not playing Woodland Hills football, I will say, where Central Catholic was playing Central Catholic football tonight.
They were.
Definitely
Well,
tonight.
You know what, kind of aiding to that point, Carlo, Brian Glover, post-game last week, said in the first half he didn't feel like they were playing Central Catholic brand of football, and he said that he felt last week proved that they're not just a blowout team, that they can go with you and beat you up for 4 quarters, which is exactly what they did.
Definitely.
Well, that's what they did last year when they won the Quad A championship. They were a beat-you-up team.
Right. And I think that's kind of the great thing about this team going forward is that they can play so many different styles. They have an identity, no question. Running the football, beating you up, playing one of the most sound defense that you could possibly be playing in high school football, and I think it might be a time for nationally to this team start to get more and
Oh, yeah.
recognition.
This is called D1 players run that defense.
And even their offense, it has struggled at times, but they have so many different ways to beat you. Last week, we saw Johnny Patrician line up at quarterback and move the ball down the field.
They have 4 different players that can play quarterback. Wide receiver can play quarterback. The running back can play quarterback. They can run the Wildcat. They can give you West Coast offense. They can give you a spread offense. And Rich Rodriguez is from West Virginia. They can give you those offenses. They can do anything they want to. And that's really what they've been the last few weeks. They can do anything they want. They won't be able to maybe do that through the state playoffs, maybe not at Heinz Field, but they can do whatever they want. And there's so many weapons. They have an injury. They put somebody else in there. Just really manage the game and kind of be the point guard and give your skilled players the football and your score.
And they have a lot for an opposing defensive coordinator to game plan
To
for.
stress over.
There is not a chance Fox Chapel could even.
They can't study all those players.
No.
They can't
Correct.
study all those players.
Correct.
7 offensive touchdowns tonight from, here's the drives, 45 yards, 60 yards, 41, 68, 88, 20, and 32. A lot more 50-plus
Having to go
Right.
to the field, having to do work.
Right.
How many different players scored tonight? I don't think anybody scored twice. Grant Foster scored twice,
Foster scored twice. Right.
but that was it.
That was
But even week 1, they only had to go. They had 40 points, but they had to go 1 yard, 6 yards. Didn't have to throw the football. Foster got 4 touchdowns by going a combined 4 yards. And I mean, I'm even saying that literally. It sounds funny, but I'm saying that literally. This tonight, they have 56-0, but they had to do the work.
Right.
Well, it's going to get interesting now for Central Catholic. They have Connellsville next week, who's a program that has historically struggled and are struggling at this point. So a game that really you just want to go in and you want to have something like this where you dominate, you have a dominating effort, no one gets hurt.
Right.
You're able to almost pull the dogs off at halftime and not have to worry about closing.
Rest them up a little bit, yeah.
And then get ready for some really interesting contests. The final 3 of the final 4 weeks of the year are going to be really interesting with North Hill, Seneca Valley, and Pine Richland. Seneca Valley might catch fire. I don't know what they're doing right now, but with that North Hills
Playing
game,
better.
that is a really big toss-up game and could really throw this section after you talk Central and Pine Richland. Where do you go? Does NA make it? Does North Hills and Seneca Valley make a run and end up overtaking North Allegheny for that spot? It's still possible.
Oh, definitely.
And if you're Central Catholic and you go to that Pine Richland game undefeated and you've been mercy ruling teams and you've been seeing this game here against Fox Chapel and dominating teams still, Pine Richland might be able to get unscathed and they might say they're the number 2 team in Quad A, but that might be a game that you go into the playoffs and if you mercy rule them, and I don't say that's out of the question, even though Central's the favorite and they're probably the best competition, it's not out of the question, or even not a mercy rule. You win by 10, 20, 50, around that neighborhood. Central really has a chance to intimidate, and if they want the national recognition that you're waiting for, they need to do that against those teams, against Pine Richland. This defense needs to pull a goose egg against Pine Richland, and then nationally they might get on those websites.
And I'll tell you what, Pine Richland, in their mind, says, I mean, I know a lot of teams think that they're the best team, but really in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, we'll play with Central, see what happens.
It's circled.
Pine Richland, they think they're going to blow out Central. I mean, they think their offense this year has what it takes to take on Central.
Well, you know what? I think it's the matchup of the year in Quad A.
Oh,
right
easily.
now. I mean, you're talking about Central Catholic's defense.
So listen to it on the Chance Sports Network.
Listen and then watch it the next week, because you're talking about a Central offense or a Central defense rather with, you know, those wide receivers of Pine Richland are at another level than any wide receiver tandem that Central's going to see leading up to the point.
Easily.
Same thing with the quarterback. Ben DiNucci has proven that he is a guy
more to scheme against.
Yeah.
Central Catholic's defensive coordinator told me on record, I straight up asked him, his players were saying, why you hype up Ben DiNucci so much? I said, Ben DiNucci's the most dangerous player in Quad A football, even with the people on your team. They said, not a chance is he better than JP. I said, he's more dangerous than JP right now. Central defensive coordinator walked out of the locker room. I said, Coach Flem, who's the most dangerous player in Quad A football right now? He said, Pine Richland's quarterback, Ben DiNucci. He can beat you so many ways. And with his head coach, Eric Kasparowicz, I'm told by multiple WPIAL coaches, he's the hardest guy to game plan for. He'll have one person line up in 6 different spots, and you don't know what's going to happen next. He always keeps you guessing.
Yeah, it's one of the Peyton Manning audibles and the athleticism that he also brings to the table, and Central will not be able to. They mostly still play man-to-man. They know they have the athletes more than anybody else they've faced. They have the athletes. That might be the game against those wide receivers. They can't just play man-to-man straight up. They might have to bring more of a zone, or they might have to maybe do something different, adjusting in their game plan.
Throw Pine Richland off a little bit.
They might need to, and the attitude both those two teams have, you got to listen, you got to watch that game. That should be a classic game to archive for eternity.
Well, it's 3 weeks away, so still or 4
yeah,
weeks.
Don't shut us off and then just come back in 4 weeks. Watch up until then.
So next week, Mike, you'll be on the road. Good luck.
Be a road trip. I'll be trekking it. I'll be got the gas mileage for my vehicle.
And so you'll be in Connellsville. We will be.
Game of the week. We'll see.
Game of the week. You can vote right on champsportsnetwork.com to find out. Voting will start tomorrow. Where will you send WPIAL Insider and myself? That is the question. Where will you send Carlo and myself?
Like I said,
we're ready. The car's gassed up. We're ready to go.
Yeah. It's scary, though, to let people decide. Now, see, if it was Carlo and I, they probably would send us off a cliff somewhere.
Middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, if I'm with you, they're sending me off a cliff.
Well, that's going to be our next broadcast, so definitely tune in. Of course, check Carlo's WPIAL Insider page on the Champ Sports Network. He updates the student section rankings and going to get some
power rankings coming. And I got some inside information coming.
Well, you should. It's the insider.
Onto the blog next week. You guys might want to tune in. Got some little hints to drop here and there.
Foreshadowing.
That is foreshadowing and plugging the site, which we always appreciate.
Oh, yeah, got some stuff for that.
Cross-promotion at Champ Sportsnet on Twitter, the Facebook, Carlo, and WPIAL Insider. Yeah.
Right.
If you follow it all, you get it all. You follow some, you won't get it all. Don't complain about not getting it all if you only follow some.
That should be on some kind of craft or something.
We close with the simplest phrase out of the whole broadcast.
Well, for these two gentlemen, Mike Gosti and Carlo Zofko, I'm Matt Fargo. For our entire Champ Sports Network crew, final score once again, Pittsburgh Central Catholic gets the W 56-0 over Fox Chapel. They roll. Mercy roll was in effect. It was 50-0 at the break. So Fox Chapel falls tonight, and we'll talk to you next week right here on the Champ Sports Network, where champions are heard.